Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alvin Nugraha and I'm here to explain about my journal VR and AR on learning system. Virtual reality or VR is a technology that allows users to immerse themselves in an artificial world that can either be an entirely imaginary universe or merely a reproduction of the real world. Learning method with VR allows students to feel new experience on learning. Students can walk and interact, also observing in a 3D virtual environment and change how they interact with subject matters. While in the other side, there is augmented reality or AR. AR is a technology that refers to a virtual interface that enhances or adds information to the real world. Utilizing, utilizing AR method on learning allows students to interact with virtual objects and the real object. It also makes learning more interesting, exciting, and easier to understand by offering opportunities to view conduct from various perspectives. So from these two statements, we can conclude that these two media give us a unique and colorful learning process, as we know that today kids are prefer themselves on visualization than boring conventional learning. Why VR and AR? As what I said before, that these two media provide a learning in a different way. VR and AR offer a lot of advantage in applying it. Four of them are cost. By the use VR and AR technology, school parties only need spend their expense for once. To buy VR and AR media while in conventional way, they need to spend the money for study tour per year. It's like on ticket and else. So by the use VR and AR, school no longer need to organize a study tour per year. They can just use VR and AR as the alternative. Second one is solve the boredom. Today, kids whose sleep always depend on smartphones show that they are more interested on something colorful and interactive. From the statement, it can be said that conventional learning is no longer fit with today kids' characteristic. Students now more interesting on visualization, so we give them like what they want. A learning process at least 80-100% count on visualization that the use of VR and AR. Their motivation on learning will wide open because they will try another brand new interactive learning. Third one is easy for teacher to illustrate something. Sometimes teacher having a trouble on how they can illustrate something on what they say. This trouble ends up with student having confused about what meant by the teacher. When it happened, can be said that the learning process will end up unwell done. But by the VR and AR, teacher easily give an example and illustrate about something. Moreover, not in 2D ways, but in 3D way. And the last one is increased efficiency. Besides that, these three advantages, immersive technology also been found to be more effective. With a study by PwC conclude that VR lesson was 275% more focused and 4 times faster. It can also have on time and reserve resources since this kind of virtual learning can be delivered remotely, eliminating the need for in-person learning process. So, how to apply the trend based on article? Article I've chosen on this is a study titled Application of Electronic Learning by Utilizing VR and AR Method in Natural Science Subject in Elementary School Student Grade 3 by Rizan Putra Anggaran 2021. This study based on COVID-19 era, where in this case the author tries VR and AR as a learning media. The study used waterfall method that start by analysis, evaluation, implementation, and testing. On analysis stage, and this analysis is carried out for the program to be made, including knowing the scope of information, the function required, the performance, and the tools needed. And the second one is eval- evaluation stage is determined whereas this application is running correctly and there are no errors. And the third one is implementation. Application-based learning using software development through the Unity game engine. And the last one is testing stage. In this stage is get the sample in a small group of 5 students in class 3 and a teacher at SDN Balimeter 1 pagi. Discussion result. In this section, the author will explain the result of research by conducting testing. The purpose of testing where the benefit of learning can help students understand science subject. As mentioned earlier, these tests do carry out three types of testing. The first one is learning a learning method. Learning all at this stage applies at the learning method with viable application, while design subject is teacher doesn't explain the material to study by student. By student. Testing was carried out by 5 participants using a learning-based application, while the teacher only monitored the student working on the question without explaining. Testing this stage is good because learning only use a learning-based method in science subject for grade 3 students in elementary school. Based on the result, the participant did a pre-test without doing any previous learning. After conducting the p-test, students learn using a learning-based application, then do a post-test to work on the application question. Learning using a learning-based application but without the role of teacher who explain material on science subject will negatively impact students. The result on this testing using the learning method without explanation from the teacher did not significantly increase of 5 participants. Second one is conventional learning method. In the conventional learning model without a learning-based application, in science subject, a teacher provides an explanation and students pay attention and note what the teacher explained. However, sometimes the teacher cannot illustrate a particular subject. The learning method results are based on the teacher and 5 participant testing without using the application. In the initial stage of testing, participants did a pre-test. After conducting the pre-test, the teacher explained the related material. After the teacher explained the material, the participant do a post-test. And in the result of the 5 participant improvement do obtained, the following calculation are made. Based on the calculation, it was found that the understanding of the 5 students increased by 12%. The third one is hybrid learning method. Learning using the teaching method by the teacher and a learning method. Pretest is carried out before learning from teacher and using application-based learning on science subject and 5 participants from grade C elementary school. Learning is carried out by teacher explanation first, then learning method using a learning-based application. The implementation of learning at the initial stage is the same, where the participant conduct an early stage test on the participant doing a pretest. After conducting the pretest, a science subject teacher explained a particular material and also a participant use a learning-based method. After learning science subject, the participant were tried again as a post-test to work on the learning-based application question. In the learning simulation test has increased in the 5 participants. The calculation thus carried out as follows based on the calculation carried out and increase is understanding of the 5 students do obtain by 24%. So on how the VR and AR works is the author himself designed the application. When we open the app, it will show main menu page contents of three menus, help, play, and about. When selecting it, a new layer will appear. In this study, material related show about science subject. How the VR and AR in this process work? The first one is student will gain the material with a VR where inside of it the 360-degree picture will appear and student can take a look around about the material and its example. After the material on VR, student will be evaluated with quiz and puzzle to show about their understanding in this session. AR applied as the media, student will see an interactive character show up and moving on the device. Conclusion about this method is using learning during the COVID-19 pandemic by VR and AR on science subject on 5 students of 3 grade showed that the learning process increased in understanding by 24%. The main factor connected between learning interest and learning motivation. This media is easily understood by students because they feel another new